space.
So I rushed from work today, and I felt like I walked into a room full of mixed emotions when I came here. Some of you all seem like you all just don't want to leave the country, and the rest of you all seem like you all can't wait to leave the country. Don't worry, I'm not judging. I was in the same boat as you guys are about 4 years ago, so it's normal. Just relax. My name is Dulan. Thanks for the introduction. As you all heard, my credentials they're all right. I haven't done anything extra special with my life yet. Like a lot of you all are going to do, I studied at uni, and that's why I'm here today. So guys, remember, in about approximately 3 to 4 years, one of you all is going to have to give this speech. So by that time, hopefully you all would have done something extremely crazy with your lives. Otherwise, that introduction is going to be full of credentials that are as boring as mine. I'm here today to speak to you about my university experience, so I'll get right down to business. I'll start off with this brief background about my university life. I went to study in Melbourne about 4 years ago. Why Melbourne? Because it's like the most livable city in the world. I'm kidding. I only realized that it was the most livable city in the world after like 2 years of living there. I honestly ended up there because I applied to the University of Melbourne, and that university was in, shocker, Melbourne. And for those of you that are going to study there, I can vouch that you're going to have such a great time. I can't speak much for the people that are going everywhere else, but if you are going to Melbourne, it'll be amazing. Why the Uni of Melbourne? Were people saying that it was the #1 university in Australia is probably the only reason I went to study there. I mean, I factored in things like cost and safety and a lot of other boring variables that when I look back at my time at uni, I went to study there for all the wrong reasons. I studied a Bachelor of Commerce. I think I did pretty alright study-wise. I studied a broad range of topics, and in the University of Melbourne, you get to do this thing where you get to study subjects outside of your course. They're called breadth subjects. It allows you to be a bit adventurous in your study, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because me studying a Bachelor of Commerce in itself was very adventurous. I studied bio, chem, maths, physics in school, and then I went on to study economics and finance at university level. I don't know how many of you are doing that, but if there is anyone that's doing it, trust me guys, you're not handicapped in any way whatsoever, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because you're going to university to learn, and learning something new will never put you at a disadvantage. Yeah, you'll probably find the concepts boring at first, and you'll find it hard to score on your exams, but wait till you start working in the real world. 3 years of university and 12 years of schooling where you studied the same thing throughout will not make life any easier for you. So whatever you learn, embrace it and learn it with your whole heart. So I was asked to speak about a few things when I came here today, and one of them was what it's like to be an international student and how it was for me. I'm going to sum it up in one single sentence that covers everything. No one tells you what to do. I mean, you get your parents incessantly calling you and trying to make the decisions for you, but at the end of the day, you decide what you want to do. You decide when you sleep, when you eat, where you go, and basically everything you do and how you want to do it. Which sounds pretty great. It is. But there's a downside as well. You see, there's a direct correlation with the amount of freedom that you have to make decisions when you're young to the amount of bad decisions that you make. So when you grow older, people give you more freedom to make choices thinking you're an adult, but somehow no matter how hard you try, no matter how careful you are in making these decisions, you always end up screwing up. So I'm going to follow that up with an old-time cliche that every old person will tell you whenever you screw up. I've heard it a million times, and that is to learn from your mistakes. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it as well. But I can't stress it enough, guys, because the thing is, going abroad to study will either make or break you. And this one simple thing, it'll just keep you from so much of struggle. The other thing I was asked to speak to you about was how studying abroad prepared me for working in a multinational company or any sort of work. Yeah, I studied a lot. I studied a lot of hard things. I read a lot of books. And I also barely slept. All these things only minimally prepared me for the work I do today. So study. By all means, please study as hard as you can. Because grades are important. Grades will give you an edge. And grades will get your foot in the door of even the greatest multinational companies in the world. But when I mean get your foot into the door, I don't mean you'll be working there. I mean you get your foot into the door for an interview. And once you sit down with the recruiter and she asks you how you're suited for this role, grades is not going to be the right answer. What is the right answer though is knowing exactly who you are, what makes you tick and where your interests lie. All these things you need to walk out of the libraries, you need to walk out of the lecture halls to learn. So study, but don't just study. Get involved, don't be lazy, play a sport, join a club, meet new people, make friends and travel. Do things every day that put you outside your comfort zone and keep doing them until they're inside your comfort zone. Being able to do this will not only get you hired, but it will help you adapt to changes no matter how drastic the changes are. And in my experience, this is what will make you successful at your job and make you want to work and keep working. And the parents here must be thinking, oh man, my kids are not going to study, they're just going to fool around now. So I'm going to get out of here before somebody actually does something about it. But I'll leave you guys with a few things. 3 simple things before I leave. Write it down, keep it in your memory, just remember it. Parents, you might not agree with me. I know mine don't. But I'm telling you guys this because I wish someone told me these things when I was leaving to study abroad. Alright, so 3 things. The first one, it's very simple, guys. The first one is just live close to the city. Alright? Wherever you go, whether it's Australia, whether it's New Zealand, Malaysia, wherever you go, find the city, live close to the city. Do everything you have to live close to the city. If you have to work part-time, do it. Earn enough money to pay rent and live in the city. Why? Because the city is where the fun is at. The city is where the jobs are at. It's where the food is at. And it's where the people are at. I've met a lot of people who say that living abroad isn't for them. They were depressed and they were homesick. There's a common denominator in all these people. They either probably lived in a jungle or a farm miles away from the city. So the first point is live in the city. The second one, this is where it gets tricky. Alright, I'm going to say this really quick so that hopefully all the parents don't hear this. Okay, here goes. Don't emphasize on career. Okay, I'll say it a bit slower. Don't emphasize on career. If you know what you want to do with your life, that's great. And if you don't know, that's fine. I think it's habit for our parents to tell us that we're going to study a particular degree and we're going to do a particular job and follow a particular career path. Don't hate them for it, they're doing it out of good intentions. But I think the one thing they forgot to factor in was, you might do all those things and 5 years down the line you might dislike your job so much that you quit and you go and work in a field that you have absolutely no education in. It could happen. And so instead of overemphasizing career, find your interests. That's what you should be overemphasizing. Find your interests and build a habit of enjoying to learn new things. No education is wasted education. So if you study a degree and you never work a day in your life in a field that's related to what you study, don't hate yourself. Because you probably know something that somebody else doesn't. And in the process of learning that, you learn the most important thing. And that's learning to learn. So the second thing is don't emphasize your career. Alright, number 3. It's the final point, it's probably the most important one. I don't want to generalize, but I know a lot of us growing up hear from everyone that, once we finish school, we're going to go abroad and study. That's what our parents tell us, our teachers tell us. You see your seniors do it, you see your friends do it, so naturally it becomes a thing where you think, this is what I'm going to do as soon as I graduate from school. It's not. Guys, going abroad to study is not a luxury. You guys are really fortunate to be doing something like this. This year I actually met someone who's been trying to go abroad for quite a while now, and she hasn't. I'm pretty sure she will soon. I'm praying she does. But what she made me realize was that even after 3 years at university, there's so much more that I wish I could have done. So when you go there, don't get complacent. Value your time there, because you'll never get it back. And be thankful to the people that have given you the opportunity to do what you're doing. Be thankful to your parents, be thankful to your school, be thankful to our Srimali, educate. I know I am. Alright, so I've come to the end of my somewhat sentimental speech about going abroad to study. I hope it touched the nerve. But if any of you all have questions after today, not just questions for me, or if you have questions for me, come and ask me, please. But if you go abroad and if you all have questions, ask your tutors, ask your lecturers. Find answers to those questions. Don't be lazy, don't be shy. You're going to need all the help you can get. I wish you guys all the best for your time at uni and for the careers that you will develop afterwards. Study, but also have a little fun. Alright, thank you.